It could be a case for selective prosecution, but you need more evidence. We need to learn more. But the breaking news tonight, 2 counts, false statements and obstruction, and the unusual lead-up. Where does that put this case? What footing is it on going forward, given that extraordinary intervention by Donald Trump and him all but admitting that he wanted this done, that he wanted this against what he views as a foe, separate from perhaps the legal evidence?
Oh, extraordinary is a good word for it, Ari. It's unprecedented. We've never seen this before in post-Watergate American history and probably pre-Watergate American history. A president publicly calling for his Justice Department to charge particular individuals. That's what happened. And then this particular individual, James Comey, was charged. And it happened after the U.S. attorney in this district, who had been appointed by Donald Trump and who we have reported was raising questions about this case, was forced out of office by Donald Trump. So the stage is set here for a federal judge to take a look at this and say that this was not appropriate. But you're right, that's an argument, a legal argument that James Comey's lawyers will have to make to the judge that draws the case, and they'll have to present evidence. And a lot, I think, will depend on the strength of the evidence in this indictment. Because as you know, vindictive prosecution is one matter. That's not something that goes before the jury. If the case is strong enough, oftentimes that can be overcome because essentially, if the evidence is there, the mindset of the prosecutor is less important. In this case, we believe the evidence is thin, and there's ample evidence that Donald Trump orchestrated this matter by replacing the U.S. attorney and then,
whether it was called
lobbying his attorney general.
Yeah, and as you say, pressure on the attorney general and changing the person in charge of an office that, according to reporting, had recently come to the opposite conclusion. There wasn't a case. Ken, reporting on a major development. Please stay with us. I want to bring in former U.S. Attorney Joyce Vance, who has overseen exactly such an office for the Department of Justice. Your response to this news tonight?
Well, of course, I think people are stunned given the president's involvement in this case and Ken's reporting that senior prosecutors in the Eastern District of Virginia felt the case shouldn't go forward. But, Ari, we haven't seen the indictment yet. There is some reporting that it's a 2-count indictment. It will be important to see the substance of those charges before we evaluate them, and, of course, to see the opening moves that Comey's legal team makes in response to this.
When you look at the legal team's opening response, where would they want to start? Walk us through that process. And given the primacy of former FBI Chief Comey, who ultimately testified basically about Donald Trump,